What were the main inspirations behind the main cast of Safetykit? Starting off simple, Min is the most in line with the adorable little cat girl trope. I took a lot of inspiration from the Nekopara pre-game, you know, the Save for Work one where they're all little babies. I was also inspired by Kinako. You probably have seen some fan art of her, or maybe even a figurine. She's from an adorable web series that details the antics of an ordinary cat, only characterized as a cute kid. It's also safe for work, thank God. Pav is Russian because he's supposed to be a Russian blue. I wanted a character from a different country, a country that correlates to a specific breed of cat with a distinct look. A few of my distant relatives came from a small town in Russia before they were kicked out, so the narrative of being an outsider forced to assimilate was intentional for this character. His biggest inspiration personality-wise is probably Pingu, just because that little clay penguin has just such a way of conveying personality without using words. He's a character even if he can't speak so well, and I want that to come across with Pav's body language. Sondy is a play on the catboy trope, or I guess the anime trope, of a boy who is often mistaken as a girl and feels some level of discomfort from it. Characters in this trope may be Chihiro, Nagisa, and Ciel, just to name a few. In his personality, he's a bit more like Dipper or maybe Marco from American cartoons. A typical insecure preteen boy, the kind that's probably very relatable without being sexualized. I've always had a strong appreciation for tigers and the comedy of tiger violence. Tantan's aggressively playful streak is ripped directly from the pages of Calvin and Hobbes. She's also reminiscent of Toph, a stoic girl who can and will kick your ass. She's also a little bit of a brat, but that shouldn't get in the way of her depth. Her theme music is inspired from gacha battle games, like Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail. We wanted something modern and upbeat. Unlike Pav, who may as well be from a fictional country, Tantan's heritage is very important to the story and her character. Tigers originate from China, and she's specifically a South Chinese tigress, one of the smallest in the world. I'd already seen Amazing Digital Circus by the time I started work on episode 1, so I think a bit of Ragatha may have slipped into Angel Ears. I wanted a big sister who was on the brink of a mental breakdown. Relatable. Katara, Twilight Sparkle, and Pearl are all fragments of her character. The cutesy aesthetic is a direct homage to Tokyo Mew Mew, Sailor Moon, and other cute classic anime magical girls. Her 4 ears are a joke on both the mutation that cats have and also the common discussion of, if a cat girl has cat ears and human ears, then where are her real ears? Why does she have 4 ears? Sai, oh boy, he's like if BoJack Horseman the show was a catboy. Elements of Diane, BoJack himself, Sarah Lynn, and Todd are all thrown in the blender, and out came this guy. Real talk, his archetype is the classic tragic shoujo pretty boy, typically found in BL. His development is more along the lines of a sad adult cartoon. He's realism kicking an anime twink in the gut. Xiu is the easiest to narrow down. He's Kasho if you removed all the hentai parts that made it weird. And his personality is kinda like the mom from Wolf Children or the dad figure from Kiki's Delivery Service. Really any of the good parents from that studio. He's a little Kaneki-esque too, at least in the beginning, in regards to his low self-esteem and awkward sweetness. And that's where everyone came from. Oh, what next? The episodes. There are going to be 7 episodes in Safetykit. Each one will have a character focus. You can see here they're all liable to switch around because I do make them chronologically and sometimes I have a better idea, so sometimes things get changed a little bit. But because I'm a single person powerhouse, it's not as damaging as if that were to be happening to a studio. These are the names and characters for each episode though, at this given moment. I imagine the series will be done in maybe a year and a half, possibly 2 years. I hope y'all stick with me through it.
When you get dressed, please wear the shirt again, please. Pretty please.
Dad isn't letting me kill things!
Я до сих пор здесь. Это место не ужасное.
We just checked and I grew last night. So finally, I'm taller than Pav.
I can't open my Prozac.
Give her here. Push down, and then twist.
Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Maybe there is something I can do. I want to help. I'm going to need a little bit more money.
The process of finding voice actors was simple. Instead of narrowing down from a pool of auditions, I just went on Fiverr. I don't like telling people their voice isn't gonna fit, so to avoid that, I listened to demos and worked with the creators directly. Basically, they were cast before we even spoke to each other. Everyone's links are in the description below. Please give them some love. Well, both of the characters swing both ways, so write whatever fanfiction you want. I know I'm putting them out there, and I expect them to be received. So many of my friends are actually total simps for Xiu and Sai, and Angel too, to an extent, and while they're like my babies, I guess I can understand the appeal. In the characters over the age of 18, you weirdo. I will give the adult characters canon sexualities, both incorporated naturally into the story and just outright stated word of God. If anyone's curious, they're all bi. Will there be an episode that focuses on the school system? I think episode 3 and episode 6 will definitely have some scenes. That topic might be better explored in shorts. Let me know in the comments down below what sort of things you'd want to see in shorts, and I'll look at them and then not do them. Will we ever get to see the inner workings of what the Safetykit Corporation is like? Oh my gosh, I would love to devote a unreasonable amount of time to that concept. Numbers and documents and boring world building that no one cares about except for me. That's my bread and butter. I would love to incorporate it in a way that doesn't hinder the storytelling. This is the original lineup of Safetykit. I'm sure you're all familiar with this group. There is evil cult leader Angel, Angel's redacted girlfriend, Good Luck, Sonder, he's basically the same, Diane, Kyoko but with long hair, Sai but looks slightly different, and just regular Tantan. Tantan did not change at all. Originally I was hoping to make a somewhat action-focused story. Xiu, who at the time his name was just X because he was supposed to be a player character. Yes, this was going to be an RPG Maker game. Xiu was basically supposed to go through different routes, rescuing different cat people from different messed up circumstances. And this would carry him through the entire story. That's how you'd meet all of the characters. There would be more of a focus on actually getting them out of the horrendous situation they're in, and less energy put into the mundane task of actually recovering. Sonder's story is going to be explored in depth in the second episode, but it definitely does not involve the auction of demi-human body parts that was originally in the story. Sometimes I look at modern day Safetykit and think, oh my god, you were almost so weird. Angel Ears was originally in witness protection. She had been used as a pawn by this awful cat herding cult that focused on the psychedelic effects of catnip and the way it reduced catfolk to a much more docile state. Basically, Nekopara almost happened in the original story, but it didn't. At a very early point of production, Daz, who's basically my co-writer at this point, gave me some very, very good advice. He said that I shouldn't be approaching this story like I'm trying to kill Nekopara. Safetykit should rather stand on its own. Good Luck was scrapped because I didn't want to focus on romance, and also I wanted more screen time just for Miss Ears herself. Diane also was a very tropey and simple character. She was the hot, cool mom, and she had 2 adorable little babies. I just gave that role to Xiu. Personally, I see them as a kind of 2P, dark universe version of the present characters that you all are honestly allowed to do whatever you want with. I love all fan art. After a few months, I came back to Safetykit and decided I didn't like that original idea. Maybe because the original idea was bad, or maybe because I just didn't have it in me to write something so bleak. So I started drafting a different story. What if Safetykit was a slice of life, family-centered drama with a large emphasis on recovery and just everyone was having a good time, and it was funny and it was cute and it was okay. The decision to make Safetykit's art style completely lineless was born out of necessity. It was also a suggestion from someone that I respected a lot. Lineless is just objectively easier to draw and a few steps away from my traditional style, so I still have the capacity to just go fuck off and start an art blog, and people probably wouldn't be able to tie me to this, but I mean, who knows, really? The decision to make my own animated show came from a insane project. Basically, I hated the way Black Butler Season 2 ended, so I tried to animate an entire 15-minute episode, and it was my own fan fiction, and I spent like 9 months working on it. And I realized if I could do all of this for fucking Black Butler, I might as well do something for myself. I mean, come on, man. Vitro? Hey there, what you up to? Why, no. The ladder? It's the only way in and out of our bunker home. Oh, Vitro, he's doing it again. I have to distract him. You want me to get you a snack from the storeroom? Not hungry. Want to watch a DVD? Seen them. A hug? Fine. It'll be okay, Vitro. You know, you can always talk to me when you're feeling down, okay? You're still looking at the ladder, aren't you? That was a story I wrote when I was 14. It was about cat boys and cat girls living underground in a bunker, hiding away from humanity. It was shockingly naive, and some of the dialogue just makes me want to cringe. But, I don't know, I call this subtle foreshadowing for the path I was destined to take in life. Also, Sonder was in this original webcomic, at least a version of him. And yes, I am aware that he is white. You don't need to rub it in. Anyway, speaking of Sondy, I'm gonna give you the briefest of sneak peeks into what episode 2 has in store for us.
Wake up, wake up, wake up!
Okay, I'm up.
Sondy, you really shouldn't wear so many layers. You might overheat. Oh no.
This isn't about Simon. No, Okay, yeah, I still remember I paid for that. But I shouldn't have had to. No, I
told you they were the worst one, and they had me on Zoloft. Fucking Zoloft. Fuck.
I cannot wait to see you on the 14th. Thank you so much for supporting this project. And you all are an amazing audience. Thank you so much.